Modern technology is increasing at a rapid rate and is becoming more and more productive each day. As technology progresses, so does human activity. Labor, management, and communication become much easier to handle. But in this video, we would be talking about a specific effect, and that is communication. Only a few decades after the dawn of the personal computer and the internet, people today have access to many different social media platforms, such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord, not to mention other digital media like blogs. These platforms help them talk, interact, and share with people from all over the globe with just the click of a button. Anyone could easily befriend a stranger online or even reconnect with long-lost friends. In talking about communication, there is a theory that connects any two people in the world. This is called the principle of 6 degrees of separation.
The principle of 6 degrees of separation is all about a theory that if you select two random people from anywhere in the world, there is a social connection between them between 6 or fewer people. You could visualize this by, for example, you and the president. Alright? Finding a connection between you and the president. Let's say you know someone who is a senior at their job, and like your uncle, and your uncle knows his boss. That boss may have some connections to the government, and those connections could lead to the country's president. As you can see, there's only took around 3 social connections. With 6 social connections, it can't be denied that every person in the world is all connected socially.
This theory applies to almost everyone on the planet. It is also very plausible since the progress of advanced communication technology in this era is astonishing. Social media makes communication among humans faster and easier, and currently, adolescents are the majority of the population that use these platforms. Now, why is that? In this era of digital technology, 2 generations have now grown completely alongside personal computers, mobile phones, laptops, and the like. These are the millennials, which are those who were born from 1980 to 2000, and Generation Z, who were born from 2000 until today. Because of their familiarity with the digital world, they are called digital natives, unlike the older generations who had to adapt and are called digital immigrants. Being digital natives, adolescents in these generations find it natural to use the internet and social media platforms for all their needs, from studying to connecting with more people. In social relationships, there are instances of collective and common understanding between 3 or more people, referred to as groups. Each group has their own unique type of connection, be it among families, friends, or even workmates.
In any person's life, especially adolescents, there are 2 types of groups that they get into, the primary and the secondary. The primary group are the people that the person is closest to. These include their friends, their family, and significant others. Now, while the secondary group is not really all that close with a person, it is much bigger than the primary group, but the only similarity that these people share is that they have a common goal or work to accomplish.
Among any group of people that you could find, there is always that one person that has a different aura, kind of like an alpha among wolves. In chicken terms, this is called the pecking order, wherein one has to fight for their place in the flock. The top of the pecking order would choose the schedule and the best position for the flock and itself respectively. For us people, however, leadership is an innate personality that may or may not be present within a person from the start. But with enough knowledge and training, you could just become one yourself. One of our finest,
Erin Margaret G. Diadula,
just had what it takes to be one.
I felt motivated by doing charity works, and I thought I could also motivate other people by leading other charity works as well. I believe that in order to be a good leader, you have to have the skills of cooperation, empathy, and understanding. Being a leader isn't easy because sometimes there are times that there are groups that do not cooperate with each other, or they don't listen, or they don't obey what is beneficial to us, and it's sometimes frustrating.
It's not that easy to become a leader. There are also different principles in which you must follow in order to become one. One of these is the three axioms of being a leader.
Well, in being a leader, there must be some kind of actions that they do, and factors that they have to take into consideration so that they can be effective in leading their group. Well, among many, there are three fundamental principles or axioms of leadership, as identified by Robert Goffey and Gareth Jones in 2006. The first is that leadership is situational. A leader must be carefully aware of this by observing how his or her team interacts or responds to tasks and challenges, as well as the general mood and skills of each member. This is called situation sensing. In doing so, the leader can take many actions, such as adapting his or her methods and approach in order to better complement the group he or she leads, or reshaping the situation itself for the group. The second axiom is that leadership is non-hierarchical. Leaders are not some kind of political group where only one person takes charge of everything, but rather the leader considers his subordinates as potential leaders and trains them into being one. The leader also knows that in order to maximize the efficiency and progress of the team, certain tasks are delegated to each of the team members. Now, the last axiom is leadership is relational. This means that leaders should choose not only to decide for themselves, but also for the benefit of their entire group. This creates a mutual relationship between subordinates and the leader, creating a non-toxic and symbolic group that communicates well. The leader should know that in order to commit and get their goal better and faster, all of them in the team should understand that they are all in the same, in that they want the outcome to happen and that they are actively working for that.
Aside from integrating these three axioms, there are two contrasting types of leadership that are commonly known.
As of right now, there are two types of leaders: traditional leaders and servant leaders. Traditional leadership is what you would observe from the politicians. They accumulate power through money, fame, or other media until they are the one at the top of the pyramid. Now, on the other hand, the servant leader is actually the opposite of these leaders, as they instead share their power rather than having it all for themselves. Now, what does it take to be a servant leader? Well, to be one, there are 10 characteristics which you must have: listening, empathy, healing, awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to the growth of people, and lastly, building community.
There's more to being a leader than just asserting dominance or ordering other people around. You have to take in and consider a lot of factors and characteristics in order to become a true leader. And it's up to you whether you would choose to be one. How about you? Do you have what it takes to become a leader?